Informants everywhere, in MI6, in NATO, in French intelligence. And there had been Madeleine, trapped in that building with the East Germans, and no one to back her up. If I hadn't arrived in time... No, he wouldn't relive that horror again. She'd learned her lesson, and a loaded pistol was now a permanent accessory to her wardrobe. He turned onto Rue de Chapelle and shook his head in disgust at the deteriorating street scene, the tawdry nightclubs, the scantily clad women poised on street corners. They saw his Mercedes and beckoned to him eagerly. Desperately. Pig Alley was what the Yanks used to call this neighbourhood, the place one came to for quick delights, for guilty pleasures. Madeleine, he thought, have you gone completely mad? What could possibly have brought you here? He turned onto Boulevard Bay, then Rue Mira, and parked in front of number 66. In disbelief, he stared up at the building and saw 3 stories of chipped plaster and sagging balconies. Did she really expect him to meet her in this fire trap? He locked the Mercedes, thinking, I'll be lucky if the car's still here when I return. Reluctantly, he entered the building. Inside, there were signs of habitation, children's toys in the stairwell, a radio playing in one of the flats. He climbed the stairs. The smell of frying onions and cigarette smoke seemed to hang permanently in the air. Numbers 3 and 4 were on the 2nd floor. He kept climbing, up a narrow staircase to the top floor. Number 5 was the attic flat. Its low door was tucked between the eaves. He knocked. No answer. Madeleine? He called. Really now, this isn't some sort of practical joke, is it? Still there was no answer. He tried the door. It was unlocked. He pushed inside, into the garret flat. Venetian blinds hung over the windows, casting slats of shadow and light across the room. Against one wall was a large brass bed, its sheets still rumpled from some prior occupant. On a bedside table were 2 dirty glasses, an empty champagne bottle, and various plastic items one might delicately refer to as marital aids. The whole room smelled of liquor, of sweating passion, and bodies in rut. Bernard's puzzled gaze gradually shifted to the foot of the brass bed, to a woman's high-heeled shoe lying discarded on the floor. Frowning, he took a step toward it, and saw that the shoe lay in a glistening puddle of crimson. As he rounded the foot of the bed, he froze in disbelief. His wife lay on the floor, her ebony hair fanned out like a raven's wings. Her eyes were open. 3 sunbursts of blood stained her white blouse. He dropped to his knees beside her. No, he said. No! He touched her face, felt the warmth still lingering in her cheeks. He pressed his ear to her chest, her bloodied chest, and heard no heartbeat, no breath. A sob burst forth from his throat, a disbelieving cry of grief. Madeleine! As the echo of her name faded, there came another sound behind him. Footsteps. Soft. Approaching. Bernard turned. In bewilderment, he stared at the pistol, Madeleine's pistol, now pointed at him. He looked up at the face hovering above the barrel. It made no sense at all. Why? Asked Bernard. The answer he heard was the dull thud of the silenced automatic. The bullet's impact sent him sprawling to the floor beside Madeleine. For a few brief seconds he was aware of her body close beside him, and of her hair like silk against his fingers. He reached out and feebly cradled her head. My love, he thought. My dearest love. And then his hand fell still. Chapter 1. Buckinghamshire, England. 20 years later. Jordan Tavistock lounged in Uncle Hugh's easy chair and amusedly regarded, as he had 1,000 times before, the portrait of his long-dead ancestor, the hapless Earl of Lovat. Ah, the delicious irony of it all, he thought, that Lord Lovat should stare down from that place of honour.